Good morning. Well, we begin the next to the last week of our course together. But in some ways, it is the most important week that we are having because it deals with the spiritual life of the Christian leader. I love the straightforwardness of the way that Bill Hull talks candidly in chapter 8. He says the risk of success not only involves the unholy trinity of money, sex, and power, it also includes the danger of living a religious life with no power. There is nothing quite so odious. He goes on in the next chapter to talk about the whole issue of Christian living calls for authentic living. It requires humility, service, vulnerability, sacrificial living, and the willingness to put up with a constant stream of abuse. Sometimes that abuse and criticism can be a mere street noise, but other times it is a jackhammer in your head. Great words and great chapters from Dr. Bill Hull. I hope you take it to heart. My wife thinks it's time for my office to have a little look of Christmas, so you can see my poinsettia in the background that she brought to put in here. I have a little video introduction for you, but then I want you to spend at least 1 hour, and obviously that's on your bailiwick, to have a clear conscience before God and man, that you spend at least 60 minutes doing that. Now, you can cheat on it. I know you can. And you can say, oh, I have these 5 things, and I can whip that off without having to do any research. But I want you to expand beyond your familiar people that you listen to a blog or read a blog or listen to their video clips. I want you to broaden your perspective. And then we have 2 papers, one about your spiritual health, what you're doing, the specific steps, and I want specific steps of what you're already doing or intend to immediately implement into your life to maintain spiritual health. I talk about my disciplines in my short video. And then you're to list, to maintain. And it's okay for you to refer to some of the references that you had. Now, the second paper, 2 papers, the second paper is to specifically write a 2 to 3 page paper listing the 5 resources and explain why at least 2 of them are particularly valuable to you. Those are great personal disciplines to work on maintaining your own spiritual health. You can succeed and have the appearances of everything beautiful, but you and I both know that the walls come crashing in when we do not live a life of godliness. We may be the best speaker on the face of the earth. We may be the best organizer and planner. We may be the best staff leader or staff member. But if we're not leading a life of godliness, we are out of bounds. And God will call us an account, even as the scripture says, be sure your sin will find you out. Crucial issue, and I say it with deep passion because through the years, I've seen so many wonderful people make terrible choices that mortgage their families, their ministry, their future. Our discussion is building on that same theme. Discuss the seeming unawareness of a spiritual leader that the blessing of God has been removed because of choices to violate a Christ-honoring lifestyle. How does this happen? What can be done to avoid such blindness? Those are crucial questions. So, our objectives for this week: to recognize the priority of a Christ honoring values and decisions, to commit to a life of godliness and spiritual vibrancy, and 3, to honestly assess our own personal health. Feel free to call on your heavenly dad to say, Dad, how am I doing? I want to be honest with you. Before I reviewed the assignments for this week, I wrote in my own journal, Lord, help me to see where I am. I pray that that is your prayer also. God bless you.